The archaeological expedition to Nexus 7 was meant to be a simple survey. Lieutenant Commander James Crawford was the only human in a team of 6 alien scientists: the Crystalline Collective, the SCIFI, and the Eternals. They had invited him as a gesture of cultural integration, though their mockery made it clear they considered him a burden. "The human walks so slowly," commented Vexthai, Explore Vextor. "We could complete this mission in half the time without your primitive biological limitations." "Perhaps we should leave him at the ship," suggested Crystalline Scholar Kthel, its geometric form shimmering with what might have been laughter. "Humans tire so easily." Crawford said nothing. He had learned long ago that responding to their jabs only encouraged more. He simply documented everything, filed reports, and did his work with quiet competence. The team was exploring an ancient derelict, a massive spaceship that had been drifting through space for over 10,000 years. The Eternals, who had lived for millennia, couldn't identify its origin. It predated every known civilization. Its construction was impossible, technology that shouldn't have existed in any era. While the others examined the main engineering sections, Crawford explored the lower decks. He found something the scanning equipment had missed: a sealed chamber beneath layers of oxidized hull plating. It took him hours to carefully cut through without damaging what lay beneath. What he found stopped his heart. Armor. Ancient, gleaming, impossibly preserved. It was humanoid in design, crafted for being roughly 6 feet tall, perfectly aligned with human biomechanics. The material was unlike anything he had ever encountered, shimmering with an inner light that seemed to defy physics. Inscriptions covered every surface in symbols that his translation matrix couldn't decode. But the base of the armor was something unmistakable: a date, rendered in numbers that predated human civilization by 10,000 years. And a symbol, a spiral galaxy. Earth's insignia. Crawford's hands trembled as he carefully activated the armor. It responded immediately, as if it had been waiting for him specifically. The pieces flowed around his body like liquid, conforming perfectly to his frame. As the final piece sealed into place, a holographic interface activated inside his vision. Messages, thousands of them, logs, instructions, a history that rewrite everything. Humanity hadn't just recently entered space. Humanity had fallen from greatness. The logs revealed an ancient human civilization, beings who had conquered the galaxy, built wonders, mastered technologies that made modern science look primitive. They had been brought low by a cataclysm, their knowledge scattered, their species regressed to near extinction on a forgotten world called Earth. The armor was a failsafe, built for a descendant who might one day rediscover their heritage. It was a weapon, yes, but more importantly, it was a key to unlocking humanity's true potential. When Crawford emerged from the chamber, his team was shocked into silence. The armor didn't just protect him, it enhanced him. His strength multiplied tenfold. His reflexes sharpened beyond what should have been biologically possible. But more than that, the armor's integrated AI began downloading the ancient knowledge directly into his mind. He suddenly understood mathematics the aliens were still struggling to comprehend. He saw tactical solutions they had never conceived of. "Impossible," Kthel breathed. "What is that armor?" "Insurance," Crawford said quietly. His voice was different now, amplified, resonant, carrying an authority that made even the Eternals take a step back. "Humanity wasn't always the species you've been mocking. We built empires while your kind was still learning to think." Over the following hours, Crawford used the armor's technology to access the ancient ship's systems. The vessel came alive, dormant reactors hummed with power. Weapons systems that hadn't fired in 10,000 years illuminated with deadly potential. The ship itself was a masterpiece of engineering that made human spacecraft look like children's toys. But Crawford didn't use the weapons. Instead, he accessed the historical archives and began downloading every piece of human knowledge stored aboard. Scientific principles, philosophical texts, artistic achievements, the complete cultural heritage of a civilization that had achieved transcendence. When he returned to the modern research vessel, the aliens treated him with a respect that approached reverence. "You were always more than you appeared," the Eternal Observer commented. "Your species carries something dormant inside you, potential waiting to be awakened." Crawford removed the armor carefully and handed it to them. "Study it. Share it with the galaxy. Humanity has entered space again, but we're not going to conquer it the way we did before. We're going to learn from our mistakes." Within weeks, the discovery was the most significant event in galactic history. Ancient human ruins were discovered across dozens of worlds. Artifacts began to surface, confirming a civilization so advanced that modern science looked primitive by comparison. But the most important discovery was this: humans weren't a young, inferior species trying to prove themselves. They were an ancient people reclaiming their birthright, guided by the wisdom of their ancestors and the humility of their fall. The aliens who had mocked Crawford now sought his counsel. Humanity, it turned out, had always been destined to lead the galaxy. They had simply forgotten for a time, a necessary forgetting, perhaps, that taught them the meaning of compassion and the importance of rising together rather than ruling alone.